I will spend my whole life through loving you, just loving you. Winter, summer, springtime too. Loving you, loving you. Makes no difference where I go or what I do. You know that I'll always be loving you, just you. I guess a lot of us thought you were bigger than life, and it just never occurred to us that you would ever die like the rest of us. And it's impossible to put into words all that you've meant to us, but to many, you were the American dream. Besides JFK, you were the only hero some of us ever had. In an age that said we should suppress our feelings, you freed us from some of the prejudices the previous generation was about to pass on to us. In every song you sang of life, you filled our hearts with love and emotions that touched feelings in us that we'd kept hidden for a long time, helping us to get to know ourselves, telling us it's all right to feel, to be the way we are, that self-expression is a God-given right. You did for a whole generation something we couldn't do for ourselves. And because you communicated the depth of your feelings and interpreted ours so well, you were an extension of us, and we wanted everything for you. I guess we could say you were the heart and soul of and to one generation. You also represented a part of us that we weren't sure of, that we dreamed of being. You made us aware of our own potential, even though we knew we might never find the secret in ourselves for reaching it, as you did. But you showed us it could be done, and so excluded yourself from society to preserve the mystery that made you that American dream. I guess that's why we put you on a pedestal so high that you could do no wrong. We didn't want you to be subject to human ills as we were. We didn't want to know you any better than we did. We wanted you to be perfect, and telling us something that spoiled our image of you would be worse than finding out for the first time there was no Santa Claus. But now the call has come, and fate says your time is up, and we can't believe you're gone. It seems like the world ought to stop moving, or that life shouldn't go on. But it does, and we will, till our time comes. And that's reality, I guess, reminding us of our own unimportance. That life is here, life is gone, just like that, even for those who seemingly have everything. And so a part of us has died with you. But the monument we leave to you is not made of stone, but of love. It's a big empty space in our hearts that was reserved for only you, that no one else can ever feel. What was once a dream is now a memory. What was once a reality is now a dream. But the impact you had on our world will last until the last life you touched is gone. We're sure gonna miss you, and nobody will ever take your place.
Hello, little bluebird, I know how you feel. One time I thought I'd never learn to, but someone came along and helped me like I'm helping you. And if I can fly, I'll bet you can too. I don't know what misfortune kept you down this time, but there's usually a reason for it all. All the time, and the higher up, the harder that you fall. First thing you have to do is be sure you want to fly, 'cause no one in the world can do it for you. Then practice what you learn by by doing all that you can do. 'Cause if I can fly, I'll bet you can too. I don't know what misfortune kept you down this time, but there's usually a reason for it all. And you're running to things that hurt you all the time, and the higher up, the harder that you fall. So go spread your little bluebird wings and fly away. May the melodies of love always be with you, and someday you'll help someone remember what I'm telling you. If I can fly, I'll bet you can too. Da 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 da. If I can fly, I'll bet you can too. If I can fly, I'll bet you can too. If I can fly, I'll bet you can too. If I can fly, I'll bet you can too. I can't stop loving you. I've made up my mind to live in memories of old sometime. I can't stop wanting you. It's useless to say. So I'll just live my life in dreams of yesterday. Those happy hours, all that we once knew, so long ago. Oh, they still make me blue. Oh, they say that time heals a broken heart. But time has stood still since we've been apart. I can't stop loving you. I've made up my mind to live in memories of old lonesome time. I can't stop wanting you. It's useless to say. So I'll just live my life in dreams of yesterday.
I feel tears running up from deep inside, like my heart's gonna break. And the stab of loneliness, sharp and painful, that I'ma never shake. You might say that I was taking it hard since you gave me the final goodbye, but don't you wager that'll hide my sorrow. I may break right down and cry. Now the race is on and here comes pride up the backstretch. Heartaches are going through the inside. My tears are holding back. They're trying not to fall. My heart's out of the running. True love scraps for another say. The race is on and it looks like heartaches, and the winner loses all. One day I ventured in love, never once suspected what the final results would be. How I live in fear, waking up each morning to find you gone from me. This aching and pain in my heart for the name of the one that I'll never replace. Somebody new came up to win him. I came out in second place. And now the race is on and here comes pride up the backstretch. Heartaches are going through the inside. My tears are holding back. They're trying not to fall. My heart's out of the running. True love scraps for another say. The race is on and it looks like heartaches, and the winner loses all. Well, the race is on. Now the race is on.
There's the coffee cup that you drank out of that morning, and there's every cigarette you smoked that night. And I'm just sitting here staring at every trace you left behind, 'cause these things are all that's keeping me alive. Your favorite chair is turned the way you left it, and I'm so dumb I'm saving that old TV guide. I keep going from room to room, touching everything you touched, 'cause these things are all that's keeping me alive. You wouldn't believe all the crazy things I do without you. Like tonight, I found the sugar in the stove, and I just tore up our picture into 1,000 little bits, and I pasted it back together a minute ago. I keep looking at these rings on my finger, and I take them off, then put them on again and cry. And the times I can keep from crying, I'm praying that you will come back home. These things are all that's keeping me alive. These things are all that's keeping me alive.
I wouldn't love me if I were you, when I treat you the way I just did.
but I didn't mean to. I'm ashamed to ask you anymore to forgive me, but I'm sorry, and it may sound like to you I'm making excuses for what I do, but while I'm changing, just love me and remember that whatever I say means I love you. Whatever foolish thing I do means I care for you. When you sort it all out, you're what I'm all about. If you can love me long enough, I learn to show you. You say it sounds like to you when I ask you where were you, that I don't trust you, but I just worry and I miss you, and I need missing sometimes too. And when the fighting and the crying lead to saying that we're through, recall the words that I inscribed on my heart for you. Whatever I say means I love you. Whatever foolish thing I do means I care for you. When you sort it all out, you're what I'm all about. If you can love me long enough, I learn to show you. Whatever I say means I love you. Whatever foolish thing I do means I care for you. When you sort it all out, you're what I'm all about. If you can love me long enough, I learn to show you. Whatever I say means I love you, and if you can love me long enough, I learn to show you. She's the woman of the 80s, the lady on the run, just trying to make up some time for things she hasn't done. She's just trying to find her way in the family of man. Don't you think it's time to give the woman of the 80s a hand? She's a single girl looking for a job, trying to make it on her own. She's the ex-wife of a husband who left her with 2 kids to raise alone. She's a mom working overtime to buy the school clothes the kids will need this fall, and the dedicated housewife living for her man, and that's not all. She's making $1 million business deals on Wall Street, and she flies the friendly skies. She knows age is just a number, 'cause at 81 she won the Nobel Prize. She competed for the 2nd highest office in the land, and that ain't bad. She doesn't claim to be perfect, but she's trying, so let's give the girl a hand. Come on now. She's a woman of the 80s, the lady on the run, just trying to make up some time for things she hasn't done. She's just trying to find her way in the family of man. Don't you think it's time to give the woman of the 80s a hand? She's the woman of the 80s, the lady on the run, just trying to make up some time for things she hasn't done. She's just trying to find her way in the family of man. Don't you think it's time to give the woman of the 80s a hand? She's committed to a vision to find out who she is and
play a role that she's expected to. She knows within every question lives the answer, just waiting to be called. And the dreams of the woman of the 80s are the dreams of us all. She's the woman of the 80s, the lady on the run, just trying to make up some time for things she hasn't done. She's just trying to find a way in the family of man. Don't you think it's time to give the woman of the 80s a hand? Come on now. She's the woman of the 80s, the lady on the run, just trying to make up some time for things she hasn't done. She's just trying to find a way in the family of man. Don't you think it's time to give the woman of the 80s? Superman, 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 Superman. Now there you go, picking on me again, pushing me to the very end, telling me to move another mountain. Well, just 'cause you can walk on water, that ain't no sign I can. You know your mama should have named you Superman. Superman, 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 Superman. Now let's go through this one more time. You do your thing and I'll do mine. But honey, baby, we gotta draw the line. If you're hang up, yes, I'm messing with mine. All I can do is the best I can to change the way that you can't stand. And if it ain't good enough for Superman, he ain't good enough for me. Superman, 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 Superman. So you don't have to rub it in, just 'cause you're right and I'm wrong again. Sometimes right is just as wrong is. And I ain't never gonna learn how to make it rain. And I wouldn't if I could for all the bull in Spain. But you go right ahead and do it to it, Superman. Superman, 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 Superman. Yeah, let's go through this one more time. You do your thing and I'll do mine. But honey, baby, we gotta draw the line. If you hang up, yes, I'm messing with mine. All I can do is the best I can to change the way that you can't stand. And if it ain't good enough for Superman, he ain't good enough for me. Superman, 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 Superman. Yeah, let's go through this one more time. You do your thing and I do mine. But honey, baby, we gotta draw the line. If you hang up, yes, I'm messing with mine. All I can do is the best I can to change the way that you can't stand. And if it ain't good enough for Superman, he ain't good enough for me. Yesterday started no different than 100 days before. He reached out and touched me before my feet could touch the cold wood floor. As I lay beside him and the thoughts of the moment filled my mind, little did I know that I was loving him for my last time. But
But you can't be a beacon if your light don't shine. How can you ask for truth when you do not truthfully live? How can you ask forgiveness when you don't forgive? I don't mean to bring you down or speak to you unkind, but you can't be a beacon if your light don't shine. You can't be a beacon if your light don't shine. You can't be a beacon if your light don't shine. There's a little light in all of us by God's design, but you can't be a beacon if your light don't shine. How can you ask a child to be honest and true when he can only judge what's right by what he sees in you? How can you offer vision yet walk around blind? No, you can't see a beacon if its light don't shine. You can't be a beacon if your light don't shine. You can't be a beacon if your light don't shine. There's a little light in all of us by God's design, but you can't be a beacon if your light don't shine. May God's love surround you, may you find a brighter day. May He grant you the peace you seek in every way. God's light burns in each life, yours and mine, and you can be a beacon if you'll just let it shine. You can't be a beacon if you let it shine. You can't be a beacon if you let it shine. There's a little light in all of us by God's design, and you can't be a beacon if you let it shine. You can't be a beacon if you let it shine. You can't be a beacon if you let it shine. There's a little light in all of us by God's design. You can't be a beacon if you let it shine. You can't be a beacon if you let it shine. You can't be a beacon if you let it shine. There's a little light in
Like the ripples from a pebble when cast into the water, there is not a life that has not been touched by the troubled times of the 80s. He was grayer than I'd remembered. For once I just listened. It wasn't like him to talk defeat, but he was down. He'd worked hard all of his life for his all-American wife and his all-American children in a small American town. Said he was about to lose his house and he'd already lost his job, and if things kept on getting worse, he didn't know how much longer they could hold on. Said he owed everybody and his brother, and naturally they took it out on one another. He said, you know, you'd be surprised how being out of work can chip away at a marriage and the foundation of a home. Is it the story of the 80s? The sign of the times? Has a nightmare replaced the American dream? Where so often is heard a discouraging word, are the clouds as dark as they seem? He said, you know, I'm not lazy. I mean, it's not that I haven't tried. Then he put his head in his hands, and the grown man almost cried. He said, I guess I'm kind of like the kid on his first date. I don't know what to do with my hands. You know, I've always been busy, made a living for my family. Now I can't get a job, and I'm a working man. He said, my wife used to think I could move a mountain. Now I think she'd be happy if I'd just move out. And the kids, well, they're growing so fast, and they all need clothes, and now they have to do without. It makes you feel small, you know, takes away your self-respect, breaks your heart and hurts your pride. And it makes it hard to be a decent husband and daddy, and it eats you up inside. Is it the story of the 80s? The sign of the times? Has a nightmare replaced the American dream?
a discouraging word? Are the clouds as dark as they seem?
But what bothered me was he was half of America, not just one man trying to deal with all the change. Out of work, out of hope, out of luck, and most of all, out of dreams. He's the farmer, the trucker, the teacher, the steel worker, the Protestant, the Catholic, and the Jew. He's the hero of America. He's me, and he's you. Is it the story of the 80s? The sign of the times? Has a nightmare replaced the American dream? Where so often is heard a discouraging word? Are the clouds as dark as they seem?
Well, there you are, and here am I. We are what we decided. Alone behind a wall of pride, hopelessly divided. We had so much together, babe, what got into us? How could we just call it quits? We should have called for love. We could have been the closest of friends. We might have been the world's greatest lovers, but now we're just without each other. We could have been the closest of friends. I could say you did me wrong, and you could say you didn't. Oh, we could sit and hold our tongues and act like little children. I could say you never really loved, and you could say the same. But if it's really over, then who cares who was to blame? We could have been the closest of friends. We might have been the world's greatest lovers, but now we're just without each other. We could have been the closest of friends. Closest, closest of friends. We might have been the world's greatest lovers, but now we're just without each other. Could have been the closest of friends.
still believe in you. You can take it, I know you can. You used to say the world's a tough place, but you could lick it with one hand, and I believe you can. I still believe in you. But I know you're hurt and you're crying inside, but try and push it aside. There's a cloud with a silver lining coming over the horizon, so hang in there just a little bit longer, 'cause you're gonna make it, I know you will. You don't have to climb the mountain, just gotta make it up the hill, and I believe you will. I still believe in you. But I know you're hurt and you're crying inside, but try and push it aside, 'cause there's a cloud with a silver lining coming over the horizon, so hang in there just a little bit longer, 'cause you can't give up, you just can't quit. Got to keep on swinging, come on, show them you can hit. I believe in you. I still believe in you. I believe in you. I still